Hello and welcome to the Android OS Guide. This is chapter 5 where we're going to be taking a look at the basic Android features and functionality as well as how you can go about configuring your device and just adjusting all the settings, all the common basic stuff that when you first get a device or if you're new to Android, how to kind of navigate your way around. We're going to be taking a look at a simulated Android device that is a Galaxy S5 running 4.4.2, so one of the latest versions of Android KitKat, so you'll get a feel of how to navigate around Android and do really just kind of basic functionalities from the ground up, and as far as opening your device and configuring settings and all that good stuff. So again, most of this is just, or all of it is just going to be that of a demo, so let's jump right into it. All right, so as the virtual device loads here, I want to explain that, again, Android is very, very unique in that it offers multiple versions and there's different skins, so no one Android version is the same, and you'll have multiple manufacturers kind of throw their own UI on top of certain Android versions. So even though all devices may be 4.4 KitKat or maybe running 4.4, it's never really the same, but this is just kind of the basic guide on a stock S5 with 4.4.2 and how you would go about configuring certain things. And again, this is general guide, so it can apply to different versions of Android, though again, just keep in mind that there's a lot of differences between versions. So you can see here, make yourself at home. It says this is just, you can put your favorite apps here. It talks all about how to see all your apps and touch this circle right here, and you can just kind of move about and navigate your UI. This is just the default UI. Here on the right, this is a part of the simulator program. This just simulates physical buttons that are on the Android device here. So again, it's not like an iPhone where there's just one device out there. There's a lot of different Android devices, so you'll have a lot of different hardware on said Android device. So some you'll have the volume rockers, you'll have camera, GPS, orientation lock switch, and all that stuff. So don't, these are just examples of buttons that would be on your physical Android device here. So here is your home screen. You can see as I pan through the home screen here on the Android device, you get this little bar down here to represent what home screen you're on. Keep in mind, you can install different launchers and home screen widgets to your heart's content, and you can get all of those via the Google Play Store if you like here. On the bottom, you have your dock, which allows you to view basic applications. By default, you'll have things like the Contacts app, which will allow you to create new contacts here. So if you want to create a new contact, this is how you would go about doing it. You can also import contacts or sign into an account here if you want to sign into a Gmail account and sync all of your contact info into it. You can do that as well here. So you can see here your new contact won't be backed up. If you want to keep it local, you can keep it local, or you can add an account so it stores it within your Google account here. At the very bottom, these are the three basic navigation buttons when it comes to Android. You have a back button, which simply just goes back. You have a home button, which will go to your home screen, and the most recent apps you can view right here. By clicking this, I'll show you all of your recent apps that are open here. By holding the home button, you'll also notice, actually you're just tapping on it here, you can go back to the home button, but holding this button right here, which is the app drawer, clicking this button I should say, this will take you to all your different apps and stuff like that. So you can tap to add an app to your home screen, and you just want to touch and hold it here, and you can drag it. So if I wanted this music app here, I can hold it and let go, and you can see there it automatically put it onto my home screen here. All right, a couple other things you'll notice with the buttons down here. You'll have messages. That's the default app. This is what you would use as far as the basic messaging functionality. This is one that's built in. It's just called messaging. So you'll be able to text people on Android if you have their phone numbers or multiple carriers. As long as you can just import their contact here, you can message them that way. Very, very easy here. All right, again, going into the app drawer, you have a lot of default stuff that kind of comes with Android. You'll have your basic things like you'll have calculator here, which you can use to do all sorts of calculations. You'll have a calendar app, which syncs with Google Calendar, obviously very well if you sync up your Google account. You'll have a camera app, which allows you to take pictures and things of that nature. This will require that your phone actually has a camera here. In this case, with the simulator, this is just an example. You can adjust things like your white balance and brightness and all that. You can switch between video mode and regular picture mode, and some different versions of Android will incorporate different camera effects. You'll by default have a browser here, and you can open it right here, and this actually is based off of Google Chrome, Google's very own browser, so that is what browser is based off of, and you can search the web with all of that, of course, and go to multiple mobile sites. Let's go back into the app drawer here. You'll have clock, you'll have your downloads folder. Android works in a way where when you download specific things, or you can actually download things from the web on the web browser, and it'll store it all in a little downloads folder, so that's where everything will be set up there. You'll have your email, which you can set up, of course, your Gmail accounts, etc. Your file manager, and that's something, again, more known for Android. You have root access. You have the ability to go and literally look into your internal storage, things like your SD cards and things of that nature. So if your device supports external storage, you'll be able to actually go ahead and notice it and click it here, and then you'll be able to navigate through all the folders and all that good stuff. so you can save additional pictures, whatever you want to kind of set up there to view. Next to that, you have gallery. That's the ability for you to check out your photos and videos, things of that nature. These two Gen Y apps are actually just built in with the simulator, so these won't be on your Android device. Messaging, which we just took a look at, you'll have things like Movie Studio and Music. These are multimedia apps for video and, of course, your audio listening here. And we can actually jump into music here just to kind of show you have artists, albums, songs, and playlists. And keep in mind, you can download third-party music or video apps to your heart's content all via the Play Store. People is your contacts app. You have your phone app, of course, to make phone calls. I mean, that's pretty important with a phone here, so you'll be able to get that. And you can skin that as well. There's literally every app you have, there's some sort of skin or some sort of personalization that you can get via the Google Play Store. You have the ability to search. If you're on the later like KitKat that support Google Play, or I should say Google Now, that will allow you to search just by saying, okay, Google on your phone. And of course, you'll have your settings. And this is really where we're going to jump into here and showcase a lot of these as far as configuring your device. So configuring Wi-Fi is as simple as turning on the network, and then you can click on more for information here regarding wireless and networks, and that will bring you into this menu where you can enable airplane mode. You can choose your default SMS app here. You can enable VPN, mobile networks, and or mobile plan. Next to that, you have device settings, things like sound. So you can adjust sound, you can adjust your ringtone, default notification sounds, and enable certain volumes and disable certain things. Additionally, you can look at your storage, so you can see everything in as far as your internal storage. If you have, again, SD cards and things of that nature, you can see what's taking up space on your storage, and you can actually jump in here and look at all those specific things. So for example, apps, I can click on apps and get specific details about what apps are taking up space and which ones are running right now. So I get, statistics and all that. Very, very great to use if you want to narrow down what's taking up space on your Android device. You have display settings, which allow you to adjust brightness, wallpaper, as well as sleep and font size and all that good stuff. You'll have the ability to look at your apps here. Again, the same thing. You kind of look at the apps you have installed and how they're taking up and what storage is free on your device. Under personal, you have the ability to change a couple of things. For example, location. If you don't want your device giving off a location or location request, you can turn that off easily. You have other security information here. For the screen lock, you can change that. You can change it to a pattern or PIN or password. Android is very famous for this. They were one of the first to integrate a lot of high security screen locks, so you'll be able to set patterns or slides. So rather than just having it a pin or passcode, you can have a little fun sort of sliding pattern or anything like that. So if I want to set a pattern here, I can draw like a square, for example, and that's how you would have to unlock your device. It records a pattern, and you can do retry here if you want to set it to like anything else here. They just all have to connect at the end here, and once the pattern is recorded, you can hit continue, and then it would save that pattern, and you can only unlock your phone once you've put in said pattern. So again, that's something to note there. All right, let me go back here out of the device administrators and go back. So there's a lot of security settings. Like I said, you have the PIN, you have the password, you have all those fun stuff that you can really set depending on how you want to protect your device. You have language input, backup and reset. You have the ability to add an account. Obviously, this is something you're going to want to do as far as setting up stuff here. You can set up an account, your IMAP or corporate account, and sync it with your Gmail. This syncs everything as far as apps and data from your Android device to your Google account, and it also pulls in contacts and things of that nature. So if you already have everything on your Google account, it's a really good idea to sync them together. System, you have the ability to adjust date and time, accessibility options. So if you have any sort of handicap issues or anything of that nature, you can easily use the accessibility menu to adjust some of those features within Android. They have a lot of great stuff packed in there. You can see about information on your phone here. So if I was to click this will show you the model number, the current version you're running, and all of that great stuff. And as far as that goes, that's really, the settings and diving into the settings panel as far as everything. Again, with all those apps we open, this button right here will show you the recent apps. This is typically on most Android devices. Really great way to quickly multitask and jump between apps here. So you can also close out of apps. If you want to close out apps, you just slide it to the left or even to the right there to exit out of apps that you may have had open in the background. That's a great way to save battery life and things of that nature. So you can easily just close out of apps and go back to your home screen. And as far as adding widgets goes, you can go into the app drawer here and click on next to apps. You'll have this little button called widgets here, and you can see you can get all these different sort of widgets that you can add to your home screen to really personalize the look and feel, and you can download more of them from the Google Play Store. So a lot of apps will actually support this. So apps like Spotify or any sort of music apps will have these little widgets that you can grab. So for example, if I wanted the music widget here, I can click it, and I can just touch it and hold it and then drag it to the appropriate home screen. And basically this allows me to play my music and all that from my home screen. And I can actually do a lot of cool things like this and rearrange it and resize it on some home screens, all that good stuff. So that's as far as widget customization goes. You can really get creative with all that in Android. And keeping in mind at the top here, you'll have access to things like your Wi-Fi, battery status, all that good stuff. And if you pull down from the top or swipe down, you'll have notifications. So anything that's coming up, if you have notifications set up, you can easily view those as well, all via the little notification center. Then you can kind of push them away if you don't want to see them or dismiss the notifications. So this is just a really quick look in the basic features and functionalities within Android and how you can go about configuring your new device. Again, this is just set up totally stock. You can go about grabbing more apps from the Google Play Store, of course. You can sync your Gmail and get all your contacts and all that good stuff. And we took a look at a lot of the stock apps that are built into Android, so you can use that to configure and set up your music, set up your widgets and home screen, and customize it to your heart's content. Again, this has been chapter 5 of the series. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to check out the previous chapters for more information, and of course, check out the next video.